What's happening, guys?
Hey!
Who's in there? Anybody?
Happy Wednesday!
It's middle of the afternoon.
Happy
You guys should be
Wednesday.
working. What are you doing? Slacking off?
Stop it.
Creeping on the book? Hey, we're just chit-chatting, and someone was like, hey, blah, 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 push-ups, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, let's just talk about them. Let's get this thing going. So here we go. Some little things to make the push-up more effective. Back to the whole bit of doing less to get more, because if you do them right, you don't have to do as many. You can spend less time in the gym, more time doing other things that aren't in the gym, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about push-ups,
Push-ups.
how to make them better, safer, and get your chest game on point, and get your arm game, your shoulder game, your tricep game, those tank tops and tushies going.
Tank tops and tushies.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
So, first thing we're gonna talk about is, what was the thing? Push-up?
Dipping the shoulders.
Dipping the shoulders. So Danielle's gonna stand right here, and she's gonna turn and face the back of the gym, and she's gonna pretend she's doing a push-up, right? So she's gonna step back so she's in frame. Good. Now, when she goes down, she's gonna bring her hands close. Boom, right? What we don't wanna see is we don't wanna have to go all the way to the ground. Then our shoulder, this guy, moves forward across the ribs. You see that? See that line going into, that bone is pushing into the joint, because we're thinking of, like, go to the ground, right? Doing a push-up to the ground, and we go all the way down, some of us have the mechanical ability to go all the way to the ground safely. Some of us don't. So using the ground as a rule of where to go is nonsense. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if you touch the ground or not, because it's an arbitrary thing to your body.
Right.
So what you want to do is you only want to go as low as you can control the position of your shoulder and your shoulder blades, right? So if you lose the shoulder, if the shoulder blade flares, or if the front of the arm comes forward, you've gone too low. That may be because the way you are as a human, or it could be some muscle and strength imbalance, something, tightness, something. But that's probably not what it is, right? Just the way you are, okay? Some people have thicker and thinner ribs, right? And then, I don't know if you've noticed before, but some girls have less or more chest. So how are we going to say, you should go chest to ground, and you should too, even though...
Yeah, that is not fair for some.
Right, hashtag, what's that one, that one brawl? The hashtag fit tits? I mean, hey, right? Okay, so you don't have to go all the way down. All you have to do is go as far as you can control the shoulders, wherever that is.
Right. Most of the time it's elbow breaking rib, though, right?
Yeah,
You at least want to...
Ideally, if the elbow can break across the ribs, or if you can get the lower and upper arm to 90 degrees, that's about a good range of motion. And do you see how at 90 degrees, my shoulder still has movement independent of my elbow? That's why it's important to feel and to pay attention and have eyes, right? And have a coach and have a partner watching you do it, instead of just saying, I'm going to go chest to ground. Okay, good. What's the other thing?
Not holding plank.
Not holding a plank. So, we want to push the plank in a push-up. We don't want our body to be into, go ahead and go lay on the ground, right? And go to the top of a plank, right? We don't want our hips to dip and have an excessive arch on our back, because there's no control, no power there. We also don't want the hips piped up, because then that changes the direction on the shoulders here, right? So what we want as in line as possible. Line. So shoulder, just like I'm standing, right, stand. If I'm standing and my shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle are in line, I should look like that on the ground, and I should be pushing that plank, not moving a hollow or broken position, okay? How do you know when you're done doing push-ups?
How do you know when you're done?
Yeah. Oh.
Like when you're
right.
like done for the day doing push-ups?
Or when you're done for your set. when your form breaks down. Now,
Yes.
is your form breaking down meaning you just can't simply push anymore? Or does that mean you can't maintain a plank? So she does 4, 5, 6. She gets to 7 push-ups. In order for her to do more than 7 push-ups, her plank fails. That's when we know we've done too many because we can't maintain integrity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, take a video of yourself, send it to us. We'll be like, hey, those are some dope ass push-ups. Good job. Or we'll be like, that's too many.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the other thing that we're seeing?
This is not really what we're seeing, but when you squeeze your glutes during the push-up,
Yeah.
there's a lot of power in your booty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you squeeze while you're doing your push-ups.
Yeah. Eat your shorts
Power.
when
Eat
you're
your
doing
shorts.
push-ups, especially when it becomes something that's like super, super hard. If you've seen someone do a one-arm push-up or a one-arm, one-leg push-up, you can change the integrity and the strength of that exercise by maintaining more tension across the body. So this is a lot of strong first principles, SFB, right? Where you zip up tension,
Yeah,
right?
you're squeezing everything.
You squeeze everything. You squeeze your glutes to connect to the body so that you can display power, right? It's a big thing. Do 2 or 3 push-ups, and then squeeze your ass as hard as possible and do 2 or 3 more push-ups and see if you
Feel the
it.
power, yeah.
You'll feel the difference,
Yeah.
okay? And then what's the last thing we're probably seeing a lot of is where we go with, the angle of our push-ups, right? So if we look, right? Oh, are we dancing? Okay. So if we look on the back, right? This is the top-down view of our push-ups. We can see that there's roughly a 45-degree line. That's what we should be aiming for as a good guide. There should be a wedge right here.
Pizza
okay?
slice.
Pizza slices right here, okay? What we don't want is we don't want in-line width, okay? Because when you're doing that in-line width, and she'll turn 180 degrees, right? Look at where the thumbs are drawing a line across the muscles we're using. There's just little guys up here, little muscle guys, little front shoulders. And those guys, that puts a lot of torque on that joint, and it's not a good, strong, safe position to be in. And then more than likely what we see is when you do this, we also see a lot of flaring with the shoulders. So now we get into all sorts of crazy stuff, and hands are too narrow. We have all of these big words that aren't good, right? So what you want to do is you want to have this wedge. So you don't want to be all the way out, and you don't want to be tucked in super tight unless you're doing a very specific type of push-up. And then maybe a tricep push-up or some sort of one arm, one leg push-up. You may need a little bit narrower, just a tiny bit. But for the most part, a 45-degree wedge is about where we want to be, okay? We also want the angle in the forearm, right? We want to be pushing from a vertical forearm. We don't want to be pushing from the hand into the shoulder. If you look, if she puts her hands up just like this, okay, where is the line of force going? It's going through her collarbone. So that's not good. If she lowers her hand, I guess, across the ground, right, more of her body is on top of her hands. Now look where the thumbs are drawing. The thumbs are drawing a line across the center of the chest where the muscle wants to get used.
Yeah.
Okay? So ideally, you want your hands somewhere in front of your chest. Where's that thumb? Where's the line getting drawn across your body? At the bottom of the push-up. Okay? Not just the top of the push-up. We want to draw ourselves into the push-up. Okay? If we're doing a push-up on the ground and we can't maintain integrity of the plank, we can't maintain the position of our hands or forearms or our depth, what do?
Find an elevation.
Right, that's a good guide. Okay, so finding an elevation that still creates demand so that you can maintain those positions. Now, what do we do if it's an elevation that's so high that we don't feel anything?
Add a band.
Okay, 2 things. You can either add a band around you so that you create resistance, or what would be the next best exercise? We would be doing like a dumbbell bench press.
Floor press.
Right? We do it. You can pair
yeah.
up dumbbell bench press with a plank, and you're getting benefits of the push-up at the same time by doing 2 exercises. Doing an exercise just to do an exercise is arbitrary. We have to remember that doing an exercise that's appropriate for our body allows our body to get better.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So what's our 3 takeaways from doing push-ups.
Keep a plank.
Maintain a plank. Abs on, glutes on. Okay, number
Glutes.
2. 45-degree wedge.
Yes, 45-degree wedge.
Okay, 45-degree wedge. Right? Here and here. Number 3.
No dipping in the
No
shoulders.
dipping forward of the shoulder. Okay? And then the last thing, we want to try to keep and maintain a vertical forearm. Let's go ahead and go onto the ground and show that vertical forearm. Okay? Good. She's going to go down, vertical forearm. Right? Now say her hands are closer to her shoulders. Right? And now she goes down. Elbows go back. Not a vertical forearm. See that? So we went from vertical to a sharp increase in angle across that forearm. Guys, that's it. So, let us know. Hey, do you have questions about push-ups? Hey, drop the video in below in the comments. We'll tell you how it goes. Drop a picture of it, your starting position, your ending positions. We're just trying to help you out, right? That's all we want to do. We want to make sure that you're doing safer exercise, because exercise shouldn't be something you're scared of, and it shouldn't be something that we are afraid to do.
Yep.
And we definitely don't want to be wasting our time doing inefficient. Well, we don't want to waste our time doing exercise that is more harmful than good for our body. So, see you guys.
Bye.
If you feel like there's anyone out there that you would benefit from this, please tag them, share it, get it all over the place. And we want to help out everybody. So, catch you guys on the flip side.
Later.